RNA is a single strand of nucleotides. This single strand folds in on itself, and hydrogen bonds can form between the bases and between bases and surrounding waters. These bonds cause RNA to form different shapes. The different sequences of the nitrogenous bases lead to the folding of different shapes. RNA base pair bonding. Bonds form between bases in a predictable pattern. A nucleotide with an adenine base, A, will hydrogen bond with a nucleotide with a uracil base, U. A nucleotide with a guanine base bonds with a nucleotide with a cytosine base. So A always bonds with U and C always bonds with G. DNA is double-stranded and only forms one shape, the double helix that you see shown in the diagram. Pair bonding between nucleotides still occurs, but of course in DNA it is between guanine and cytosine and adenine and thymine, AT and CG. Here's how the double helix is formed. Instead of nucleotides being attracted to other bases in the same strand to create many shapes, as happens in RNA, they bond to matching nucleotides in a second strand to create the double-stranded helix. The formation of the double helix makes DNA a better archive for genetic information because the bases are on the inside of the helix protected. So you can see in the RNA, they're exposed here on the outsides, but within this double helix DNA, they're protected. Thymine is also more stable than uracil in the DNA double helix, but it also means that DNA can't directly work in a cell. It is a library of information, but the only way that information can be used is via the RNA. RNA is chemically active in the cell, while the DNA is not. It's just a storage mechanism for the genetic information. So, DNA is more useful and stable as an archive to store the genetic information, while RNA is more useful working in the cells. So, RNA carries genetic information from DNA to where it can be used. DNA is maintained in a safe environment to maintain the integrity of the genetic code. RNA is therefore used throughout the cell to implement the genetic code that's stored within the DNA. RNA and DNA cannot exist separately from one another. So RNA strands are shorter and less durable than DNA strands, but they're critical to communicating the instructions of the DNA code to the cell where they can be executed. Without RNA, the information stored in DNA could not be used, and without DNA, the information would not be as stable. So we need both within our biological systems in order to live.